Ati Zambians love movies. They are not interested in what government is doing. Ah, too much 50 Shades of Grey, Zambians. Hmm? Too much fatal seduction. Too much impadi. Hmm? Too much Zuba. Maybe it doesn't color specific, honorable. Which Zambians in particular? Which ones? Which from where? Because if there was a time Zambians were very much interested in Mukanyama movies, it is not this time. Time yavenzeru mu movies maningi ni time yama videotape, it's a time yama DVD, time yama VCD. Yeah, that was the time Zambians were interested in movies. This time movie nikubana mizira ma Zambians. Nkadi ama movie. Bazata mbabwanji honorable ma movies, bazata mbabwanji. Eh? Should we start reminding each other sure kuti we are still struggling with electricity? Hmm? So at what point do Zambians even sit down to start watching movies? You see, today, for one to just watch proper movies, at least they need to have a Netflix account. Eh? But Netflix account at the moment, honorable, ni luxury. You need to pay for it, and you also need bundles for you to watch. Nayo ma bundles honorable siyankala ma bundles. So we have competing needs. Upaya kuti amene ndandama no ufunika ugulire bundle. Ndiye ufunika futi uchaitopa hapo uguleko kasaka kaunga. So there is no time that Zambians can sit down to watch movies at this particular point. Kuyabunga baba mayabunga. Kai sometimes abati pepa ya pamene ufuna tunkaleko pa nyumba. Nichikulibe malait wadabwa chebe yabuka. Ndiye pane wamanga hako maybe ati batambako. But even then, at this point, we can't say Zambians love movies. You see, issues to do with national development and to get people attracted to talk about issues to do with what government is doing, it's not different from a man proposing love to a woman. Honorable, you are a man. You know what I'm talking about. As a man, if you want a woman, there are certain things that you do to just attract this woman. Okay? Sakura kutuma present. Uzamtengako out, kutuma dates, lunch, dinner, breakfast, feature. So before she realizes TXA, you know those nice things. You know that we do as men. That is how we can make it interesting as well for people to talk about the developmental projects that government is doing. But the problem that I have seen is if there are people that have made it difficult for people to talk about issues or things that government is doing, honestly, honorable, it is not even the movies. It is you, the politicians. Yes, you, the politicians. You yourselves don't even talk about the developmental projects. You just criticize each other, insult each other. When you see there is a press briefing, most of the times you're not talking about the developmental projects that you're doing as government. Most of the times when we hear there is a press briefing, we know kuti lero kulima attack you. So if you yourselves don't find the value in the projects that you're doing as government, how do you expect the people to find the developmental projects interesting? My former boss told me insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting change. Honestly, I personally appreciate that we have continued utilizing the national broadcaster ZMBC, and now we have Zanis to talk about the developmental projects that government is doing. But maybe the question we should be asking ourselves now is that how many people out of the 20 million Zambians sit down today to just watch TV? Times have changed. Online media, social media has taken over. Let's ask ourselves from our communication strategies, how are we utilizing social media to talk about the developmental projects that government is doing? How? We complain about the social media influencers today talking about betting companies. Honorable, have we tried to engage social media influencers as government? And when I mean social media influencers, I do not just mean those that the party loves or those that the party in power feels worked for the party. I just mean those that have got the influence to command, those that have the influence to start up conversations. Have we considered bringing them closer and just finding out from them how they can help show some of the developmental projects that government is doing? Me, I can't lie. I've talked to some of your media teams. Yeah, I've talked to some of the individuals in various media teams under the party and under government. I've suggested the things, but it looks like we are still in denial as a government and as a party that social media has taken over. We still want to just showcase these developmental projects on Zanisi, on ZMBC. No hard feelings. They have the viewership. But the question is, are people really watching and appreciating? What are we doing to just make these developmental projects so interesting? People who always talk about what they see. So on TV, I can assure you they rarely watch. But when it comes to social media, they're up to date. So when you and your team come on social media and you are insulting the opposition or you are fighting with the opposition, people will pay attention to that. So you bring more critical issues of politics on social media, and developmental projects are there at Zanisi and ZMBC where people have no proper access. Then you expect people to talk about that. They'll talk about what they are seeing on social media. So maybe we should consider changing our strategy, Honorable. I don't know if it makes sense. Yeah. But if we feel we can attack or respond to critics on social media using social media, then why not use social media to show the developmental projects that government is doing? Taking advantage of the various social media influencers. By doing so, you'll be actually creating employment. Did you know? Anyway, we shall continue watching movies, Honorable.